Hello and welcome to the video. This is a quick overview of what I've done to get my on-screen display working with this little model here. Now this is the Diatone Ripper R690. I wanted to build this out as a little HD system with the DJI FPV bits and pieces in it so that it's nice and portable and easy to fly. Now obviously I've put iNav in here. So in here I have a Matek F411WSE, really small board. You'd see in loads of different things, not with a DJI air unit. This is my first time, which is why I'm making the video. And the air unit's here at the front with some great big whacking heat sinks at the top and the bottom. This is the air unit light with a Caddx Vista Pro at the front. And I've had to work to get it all sorted out. Now the information is kind of out there on the internet, but when I was struggling with this and just doing some Google searching, I couldn't find the answer. So I'm making this video for if you are interested in building any kind of model with a Matek F411WSE, that little small board, and you want to set it up with a HD FPV system from DJI, this is what you need to do. Or, well, this is what I did and it all worked anyway. First thing we need to think about is that there are multiple targets for this board in iNav, and that can be a little bit confusing. There's actually 4 of them listed. There's Matek F411SE, which is the stock target. There's Matek F411SE pin IO, which adds user to pin IO support on the LED pin. There's the one that we're going to be using, which is called Matek F411SE _FD soft serial 1, which adds full duplex on soft serial 1 using receivers on the LED pad. So you lose the ability to use LEDs, but I'm not using them on this, that's not a problem. There's even another one, which is called Matek F411SE _SS2 channel 6, which moves soft serial 2 to the channel 6 pad. Now the reason that there are these lots of different versions is because the WSE flight controller is wonderfully small and compact. It's why it's such a great option for things like this. It takes up very, very little room, but it does mean that sometimes you can kind of run out of pins, and it does mean that you have to be a little bit creative. So I originally tried this with the standard default stock target and just couldn't get it to work, and then eventually figured it out. Now before we get too much further in, let me show you how I've wired up the Matek F411WSE on here to the air unit because you need it's set up in a certain way for this to work. So let me jump on a couple of slides and show you how I've connected it together. So obviously the first thing is the battery and ground for the air unit is going to go to the battery and ground actually in the model. The way I've done it, I've used a little flying JST lead from the second ESC solder ports on the flight controller, so I can still monitor the current draw of it. Also means that if I want to, I can actually unplug it if the GPS is taking a little while to lock at the field, just stop the air unit heating up any more than it has to. Second thing we've got then is the connections for the S-bus and ground output on the air unit, and surprise surprise, they plug into the ground and S-bus pins which are here on the flight controller. The last two are the transmit and receive pins. Those are the things that the flight controller is going to send the telemetry over, and they need to be connected like this. The receive pin on the air unit needs to go and connect to ST1 because that's the transmit pin, and then the transmit pin on the air unit needs to connect to the LED pin on the flight controller because that LED pad acts as the receive pad for that soft serial UART. So that's how the wiring is done. If you follow that diagram, then that's all you have to do really. Next thing then is to go into iNav and actually flash the board with that right target. Again, the target that you're after is Matek F411SE _FD soft serial 1. And then once that's done, go into the ports tab and select soft serial 1 as the DJI FPV stuff. Don't forget, as well as doing that, you're going to have to make sure the OSD is turned on, go into the OSD tab, drag around the different pieces that you're interested in, and then save all that down. And then when you power the system up, the on-screen display will magically appear in your FPV goggles. So that's how I did it. Use that specialized target, wire it as I've shown in this diagram, and you should be gold. Thank you for spending your time today watching that video. You can find me in all the usual places on social media, and if you're trying to learn about a subject, then check out the playlist. All of my videos are organised into easy to follow playlists that, if you're trying to learn a topic, will take you from the basics right the way through to some pretty advanced stuff.